A very good morning to all of you dear students. Before starting today's class, let's do Brahmanath. Om Santi Santi Santi. Open your eyes. So now let's start the topic. So dear students, welcome. Today in this class we are going to read Unit 2 of the chapter In London in Minus Force, which is written by Louis Pasteur. Previously I had also told you one thing, that this force, F-O-U-R-S, force, minus force, is not referring to the temperature of the place, it is referring to something else that we are going to read in this unit. But what was the theme? What had we discussed in Unit 1? It was all about Mahatma Gandhi's journey to England in order to attend the second round table conference, okay, and he started his journey on 29th of August 1931, and Mahatma Gandhi was going as the sole delegate from India in order to attend the second round table conference, which had to take place during 7th September 1931 to 1st December 1931, okay. And Gandhiji was going alone, but at the same time a number of people were there following him, means they were there up to the port. They didn't go with Mahatma Gandhi, okay, they were just there to see him off. And Mahatma Gandhi just went there to England, and he went by steamship Rajputana. There he stayed in Kingsley Hall and East Settlement House as a guest of Muriel Leicester. In the meantime, he was not remaining inside the four walls of the house, and what else was he doing? He was going to morning work he was going, and he was meeting men and women while going to their workplaces, and he was talking to them, and he was quite friendly, and he was also paying visit to their respective houses. In the meantime, he was also quite familiar with the small kids, and the small kids were walking parallel with him in order to show the affection, to show the love. But in the meantime, there was also a mischief loving young boy like all of you. Once he called, "Hello Mr. Gandhi, hey Mr. Gandhi, where's your trousers?" And while listening all these things, Mahatma Gandhi was having a good love. Okay, up to this much it was taught to you. Now let's focus on Unit 2. So let's see. He watched a wonderful piece, wonderful newspaper copy. What do you mean by newspaper copy? Here, look. Wonderful newspaper copy is referring that, look, what was the position of Mahatma Gandhi at that time? He was the leader of India, and he was going to fetch independence from the British Empire, okay. That's why each and every activity was minutely observed, thoroughly discussed by each and every person in India as well as in abroad, particularly in England. So when Gandhiji has been to attend the second round table conference, all the journalists, they were focusing on Mahatma Gandhi, because Mahatma Gandhi was the single leader of India who was going to bring independence. Understood it? And journalists budge means, look, here I have written some of the difficult words for you. You can write it down if it is essential, but at the same time a number of difficult words are also there in the glossary. You can find it out right there, okay, and if you need you can write down from here also. So journalist buzz around him, and what were the journalists doing? Buzz means what? To gossip, and journalists were gossiping around Mahatma Gandhi, and what? Incessantly means continuously journalists were talking on Mahatma Gandhi, and they were asking various questions to Mahatma Gandhi, because Mahatma Gandhi was the leader. He was presenting India in the second round table conference, okay. One reporter questioned Gandhi about his dress, and once what happened, just like that mischief loving young boy in Unit 1, here one journalist also asked Mahatma Gandhi regarding his garment, regarding his dress, because as you know, Gandhiji was wearing the dress up to his knees. So he was asked question by the journalist. You people, listen, it is written, one reporter questioned Gandhi about his dress. That reporter asked Mahatma Gandhi on his dress, and Gandhiji replied, "You people means so, you white people, you Britishers." He replied, with plus force. Okay, it is mentioned plus, okay, plus force I have written here. Plus force means more cloths, minus force means less cloths, and plus 4 means what? This 4 is referring to 4 non-essential things, that is suit, shirt, hat and tie. Okay, according to Mahatma Gandhi, these are not highly essential to wear, and Gandhiji is speaking, you people wear plus 4s, minus 4s, and you are wearing more clothing than the usual item, because the Englishman dress namely suit, shirt, hat and tie. Okay, and without all these garments, Gandhiji's dress was minus 4s. Understood? This is the meaning of plus 4s and minus 4. Plus 4, minus 4 is not referring to temperature at all, it is referring to the garments. And what are the garments? They are suit, tie, hat and shirts. Okay, these are the plus 4. But Mahatma Gandhi was not wearing all these things. When he was invited to tea in Buckingham Palace with King George V and Queen Mary, all England was agog. Agog means what? Excited over what he would wear. And when Mahatma Gandhi was invited for tea means what? Might be invited for breakfast or dinner or lunch, whatever it is, but it is written to invite someone for tea. Okay, or it might be possible that only tea was offered to Mahatma Gandhi. We also don't know, na? At that time we had not taken birth. So when Mahatma Gandhi was invited by the king and by the queen in Buckingham Palace, at that time the complete England, they were excited what Mahatma Gandhi is going to wear, because reason is simple. Look, in our home we are wearing short and trousers, but can you wear the same thing whenever you are going to attend a wedding ceremony? No, you will wear definitely good garments. Yes or no? Can you wear short and trouser whenever you are going to give interview? Definitely not. So, age, Mahatma Gandhi was going to meet an important person, that is the first person of England, the Queen and the King. That's why the complete England, they were excited to notice, to see what Mahatma Gandhi is going to wear. And he wore the usual loin cloth. This is written loin cloth, not lion cloth. Okay, loin cloth means the cloth that is up to his knees. Okay, he just wore his loin cloth, sandals, his sandal, a shawl that he was wrapping his body, and his dazzling. Dazzling means hanging. You must have seen in most of the picture that Mahatma Gandhi was having a hanging watch here on his waist. He was just pinching it. Okay, and his dancing dollar watch. Why it is mentioned dollar watch? Because it was just dollar like round shaped. Understood? So he was also having his dollar watch. Now you may put the question, why he was wearing the dollar watch? To be punctual. Okay, because Mahatma Gandhi was giving too much importance to punctuality. So Mahatma Gandhi did wear all these things, and subsequently, and he went to see the king and the queen. Subsequently, and as a result, by chance, as a result of all these things, someone asked Gandhi whether he had enough on. Enough on means wearing enough garment or not. Okay, so one of the journalists, he asked Mahatma Gandhi either he is wearing enough garment or not. The king, he replied. Who replied? Mahatma Gandhi replied, the king had enough on for both of us. Okay, so excellent answer given by Mahatma Gandhi, and he did answer that the king, he is wearing enough on. Okay, it means Mahatma Gandhi is speaking that king is wearing enough dress for both of us. For me also he is wearing. That's why I am just wearing a sandal, a loin cloth and a shawl. That much is enough. Understood? This was all about the garments, the dressing style of Mahatma Gandhi. He enjoyed himself everywhere, and Louis Fisher has mentioned one thing, that Mahatma Gandhi, he enjoyed himself everywhere because he was not having any enemy, no one else. He was just happy with his condition. He had talks with Lord Irwin at the same time as he was the important person from India. That's why he did meet a number of dignitaries. And who were there? Lord Irwin, wartime Prime Minister. Wartime Prime Minister means what? He was the Prime Minister during the World War, and David Lloyd George, the Archbishop of Canterbury. Okay, Archbishop means here it is referring to priest. Okay, Canterbury is the name of a church, and he was a number of he was a most prominent priest in that church. Canterbury Field Marshal Smart, and he also made Field Marshal Smart, George Bernard Shaw, G.B. Shaw, the famous writer from England, and scores means number of others. And Mahatma Gandhi did meet all these dignitaries. Apart from this, he did meet a number of other important people from England, and went down into the country. Here country means village, okay, rural area. And he also went to the rural area near Reading. Reading is the name of a place, to pay his respect to Colonel Maddock. Colonel Maddock is the name of a person, and Gandhiji also went to Reading, and Reading is in a rural area. And why did Mahatma Gandhi go there? Mahatma Gandhi did go there in order to pay his respect, in order to say hello to Colonel Maddock. And why? Why Colonel Maddock was so important for Mahatma Gandhi? Because who had performed the appendectomy, means appendix operation on him in Pune jail. When Mahatma Gandhi was in Pune jail, he was suffering from appendix. At that time, Colonel Maddock was there who had done the operation on Mahatma Gandhi. That's why, in order to pay his respect, to pay regards, Mahatma Gandhi did visit to Colonel Maddock. Winston Churchill refused to see him, but Winston Churchill, okay, Winston Spencer Churchill, he refused, he denied to meet Mahatma Gandhi. He also addressed innumerable. Address means what? Here I am addressing to you, means I am speaking in front of a number of people, okay. So Mahatma Gandhi also attended a number of meetings, innumerable public meetings, and Mahatma Gandhi also attended a number of public meetings and spent 2 memorable weekends. Weekends means what? Normally we are thinking weekend means Saturday and Sunday, because these are the 2 last days of a week. So Mahatma Gandhi also spent 2 memorable, 2 very good weekends at Oxford University. Okay, Mahatma Gandhi spent 2 of his weekends at Oxford, and in the private conversations he tried above all else to explain what he meant by the independence of India. And what was the motto of Mahatma Gandhi in the conversation, in the talk? What was he trying to do? He was just trying, look, it is mentioned in the private conversations, means whenever he was talking to people, he tried to do one thing, and what's that? He just tried to speak them what independence real mean. Okay, what is the real meaning of independence? Understood? Above all else, to explain what he meant by the independence of India, and according to Mahatma Gandhi, what should be the meaning of independence to India? He would cut India off from the empire entirely. And what did he speak? He did speak that he will cut India completely from the empire, means there will not be any relationship in between the British Empire and India. It means the British Empire, they should not try to rule over India. The emperor from the British nation, and he cut India off from the empire entirely, from the British nation. Not at all. Listen, it is mentioned he wanted to cut India from the British Empire, but not from the British nation. Understood? I don't want to keep any relationship with this one, but I will talk with the family members. Understood my point? I don't have any relationship with the police department, but police officers are good to me. I am quite friendly to them. Understood? Means officially there must not be any link. Get my point? Okay, so Mahatma Gandhi was speaking, he was focusing that officially there should not be any link in between Britain and India, but there must be a good relationship in between British people as well as British people and Indians. And it is mentioned from the British nation, not at all. If I want India to gain and not to grieve. Grief means to express sorrow, gain means to gain something, to get something. Okay, and Mahatma Gandhi has spoken that he wanted that India should gain, India should get the profit, India should not express the sorrow, the grief. The emperorship must go, and I should love to be an equal partner with Britain, sharing our joys and sorrows, and an equal partner with the dominions. Dominion means what? Self-governing countries of the British Commonwealth. Okay, and what was independence to India? According to Mahatma Gandhi, he said that there should not be any emperorship. Try to understand what is mentioned here. Mahatma Gandhi wanted that there should not be any relationship in between the British Empire and India. The emperorship must come. They should not try to rule over us, but there must be a mutual understanding. There must be give and take relationship, a good understanding in between the two countries, and we should share our joys as well as sorrows. Understood? This was the real meaning of independence to Mahatma Gandhi. And the emperorship must go, means there should not be emperorship, and an equal partner with the dominions, and we should be equal with the self-governing countries. Means Mahatma Gandhi has spoken that India should govern itself, but it should not work under any other government. But it must be a partnership on equal term, but it must be a partnership of equal status. We should be given the equal status just like the other countries. He was describing precisely, correctly, and with remarkable precision, with spotted precision, with spotted accuracy, means correctly, definitely, and in a very fine manner. Mahatma Gandhi was describing the status free India assumed in the Commonwealth in 1948, and he was describing clearly what is the meaning of status free India. It means what? India should govern itself. There must be democracy. Okay, and the British nation, they should not try to rule over us. This was the motto of Mahatma Gandhi, and this was the reason that why he had been to attend the second roundtable conference in order to present his view in front of the people of England as well as in front of the government of England. Look, mark one thing. His motto was not only to represent India to British government, and his motto was to soften the soul of the Britishers. That's why he was meeting people. He was going to their respective houses. Okay, this was the motto of Mahatma Gandhi. He went even further. He saw what many of his followers have not yet discerned, and he also noticed that many of his followers are unable to identify what is the real meaning of independence. Isolated independence is not the goal. Isolated independence means what? You will get independence, but there will be no one. Okay, suppose in your home you are asking your parents, you are not giving me independence, you are just keeping me dependent on you always. Then your parents will give you, okay, from today onwards you are independent. It means what? You are independent, you are not depending. You will wash your cloth, you will cook food for yourself, you will clean your own room, you will sweep you will do all the work, you will go to market, you will, means each and every work will be done by you without any help, without any outer help. Okay, so after 2 days, what will you speak? Mama, I don't want this type of independence. And even they also will not give you money to spend. You have to earn by yourself because you are independent. Understood? You are not depending on them. So Mahatma Gandhi has spoken that we don't want this type of independence. And isolated independence, to remain alone. By getting the independence, we don't want to remain alone. And he asserted it is voluntary interdependence. What do you mean by voluntary interdependence? Willingness to accept mutual help, means give help, take help. Give respect, take respect. Okay, there must be mutual relationship. Everyone should try to share the joy, share the happiness, the sorrow of each other. That one is mentioned here in this chapter. Understood? And liberated colonies so treasure their newfound independence. They think it is a viable reality. And independence colonies, and Mahatma Gandhi has also spoken that some of the independence colonies, those who got independence right now, they are thinking this is too much important, but they are forgetting what is the real meaning of success, and they are thinking that they are capable of getting success, they are capable of getting a everything by themselves, but that is not particularly possible. But the law of nature in love, friendship, work, progress and security is creative interdependence. Interdependence means what? Interdependent. I am depending on you, you also will depend on me. That one is interdependence. And here Mahatma Gandhi is speaking that we can get everything. We can get love, friendship, work, progress and security by depending on each other. Okay, because alone you can do nothing. If you are not taking another thing, you are independent, your mom will ask you to cook food for yourself, means no one will give you the grocery also, no one will give you vegetable, you have to grow the vegetable in your world. Is it practically possible? So everything in our day to day life also, for everything we have to depend on others. Okay, otherwise we can't exist in this world. So Mahatma Gandhi is also speaking the same thing, that isolated independence we don't wish. We wish that there must be independence, but it should be interdependent. Means we should depend on each other, we should express, we should share our joys and sorrows, and we must be equal in terms of status, but at the same time you should not try to rule over us. Okay. So this one is being focused by Mahatma Gandhi. So in this unit, what is the theme? The theme is, the first one is Mahatma Gandhi's visit to Buckingham Palace, how he was dressed. The meaning of -4 and +4 is being clarified here. -4 means the absence of dresses like suit, shirt, hat and tie. Absence of these things is regarded as -4. +4 means a person who is wearing all these things. This is also clearly mentioned. Then it came that what independence really mean to Mahatma Gandhi, and he just expressed himself thoroughly and clearly that what independence is to India. Understood? You just go through your text, watch the video. Any doubt, any question you have, you just ask me. Okay. So till that time, thank you. Have a nice time.